welcome to the 22nd episode of The Window to Dubai.
Woo, 22nd episode, yeah! I feel special. Thank you for having me.
It's a very powerful number.
Yes.
I'm here with Eve, presenter.
Thank you.
You are the host of 104.8 radio station.
Yes.
So how can people find you? What time are you on? How can people watch and hear your show?
Thank you. Well, 10 o'clock is my slot. I'm the 10 o'clock girl. I'm with you through till lunchtime. And just listen to 104.8. I'm always there. Or Eve Presenter on my socials.
So you are originally from London.
Yeah.
You came to Dubai. You came on the radio. Tell that journey of just how someone comes from London and ends up in Dubai doing radio.
Well, it's sort of a sad story because I was in my country where I was born, but I felt like there was no opportunities for me because of my race. I'm half Arabic, half Polish, and born in London. However, when you go for radio jobs, like I didn't fit into the race category, and I felt like that was a disadvantage for me. So then I ended up, my brother being a DJ here was like, yo, come to this country, you don't understand. Like, we're half Arabic, we could fit in, and you're mixed race, and you fit in with all the cultures.
Yeah.
And I did, like after I got disappointed and heartbroken two times, by two different radio stations.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm like jumping on a plane because I was heartbroken. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And I did. And I came out here and like 3 UAE radio stations were like, there you go.
Yeah. So it went from like denial to all of a sudden you have the opportunity to choose from.
Yeah. Like everything just opened up. And having that background of coming from like London, you'd think, it wouldn't work out here, but it really did. I was so surprised. It was great.
What was it that drove you to get into radio originally? Like, what was it that made you want to do radio?
To be really honest, and this is so true, like I didn't start in radio. I was a host. I was just working in a nightclub, trying to get some money. My mum's dream for me was, you're going to be a model, you're going to be a model. And I was like, I don't want to be a model. But I did it anyway. And so I used to work in a nightclub, hosting a dance show, and there was, Exhibit from Pimp My Ride.
Yeah, Pimp My Ride. Yeah.
That's the American version. Now in London, the English version is with Tim Westwood.
Yeah.
And he hosted a dance show, and he was meant to be the host for that actual night, the final night.
Yeah.
And I was working on the door, doing all the guest lists, hosting it and everything. And they were like, he can't do this. He's actually banned from hosting in this venue because of his past experience. Something bad happened. I won't tell you.
Yeah.
But he wasn't allowed to be there. And they were like, oh my gosh, we don't have a host. Can you do it? And I was like, okay, give me the microphone. I'll do it. I'm happy to do it. I've been here with you for how many, nights watching the dance crews do their thing. Got on the mic, hosted the whole show, went amazing, and somebody from Ministry of Sound Radio was like, your voice is amazing. Can you come and host my show? And I was like, yeah. And it's like, you just think that the guy is trying to hit on you.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He actually had a business card. I was like, here you go. I was
like me, I have a real show.
Yeah, like you're real.
I didn't just DM you randomly.
No, you're like, okay, who's this guy? William, huh? Okay. Yeah, but no, so he genuinely was real, and he had his business card and it said Ministry of Sound, and I was like, oh. Next thing you know, I'm on the radio. It's like, wow. Insane.
Yeah, and so you were on the radio in London, right?
Yeah. I did a few radio shows. I started at Ministry of Sound. I went to my local station, which is Westside FM, and then just moved up the ladder.
And what do you think is, comparing the two markets in radio, what do you think is the biggest difference in UAE versus London?
I think here even though you feel like you're more restricted, because the UAE laws and the government, and we respect it. However, I feel like we're so much more free here because in London, the time spans of what they make you talk and how you do it, it's very fast. Like, got to talk like this and got to do that and you got to be like this. Here, it's like, nah, you're open. If you've got a beautiful idea, do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they let you be you. That's the big difference.
Really? You wouldn't think that.
I know, right? You'd be like, nah. Really?
Like you would. I would feel like you'd feel more restricted to talk on the radio versus in London, where it seems like it's more free. Let's say, but it's the opposite.
Completely. I feel so much more free here because they let you choose what you're going to talk about. I get to say what I want to say. Obviously, abiding by the law, and just be me. And that's the whole point of it. You want to hear a real radio presenter speaking about their real life. Yeah. And that's what we get to do here.
Talking who is the real Eve? Not Eve presenter, but just Eve. Who is Eve?
Oh my goodness. Eve is a crazy cat lady.
Yes, I've seen these Insta stories.
Do you like my cat buddy?
It seems cool.
Come on. Buddy is cool. He should have his own Instagram, by the way.
I would make one for him.
Thank you. Yeah. Do you want to do it? You can take the job.
Create his personal brand.
Yes, please. I am a crazy cat lady. I love sitting on the beach on the weekends. Do I look brown?
Yes.
This is my tan. Like, look, tan lines.
Yeah.
Tanning, beaching, just being out there in the UAE. If there's something going on, I want to be there. You know, if something's opening, I want to know what's going down. So trying to be in the open scene of what's going on.
Yeah.
Just living life. It's good here. Do you see the beaches?
Yeah.
Look at this. Tallest building in the world. Hello. We get to just go visit that anytime we want. So yeah, if I can experience it, I'm there.
Yeah. And you were telling me that one of your favorite things on your show is actually to talk about the UAE. Can you, like, why specifically do you like that part the most?
I get to share with you the secrets of the UAE. So because we work in media, we get they're called press releases, just so you know, and they tell you about stuff that's going on before it actually happens. So then I get to share it on my show in a part that's called UAE Secrets. So I'll tell you about stuff that's going down, and it's just something interesting to know. So if you're in the car, you're listening to the radio, you don't just want to hear, oh, that was Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
That was Nicki Minaj. We don't really care. To be honest, do you really care what Justin Bieber is doing in his life? Is he getting married? Yeah, whatever. However, if something is opening up like Warner Brothers Abu Dhabi, I want to know. It's an indoor theme park. I want to be there. I want to go and try it out. I want to like hang out with Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Like get my Instagram picture with these guys. Why not? So I can tell you that on my radio show, and that's my favorite segment.
So you get to know all the cool stuff before it happens.
Yes.
Nice. So what is some of the coolest stuff you've gotten to do?
Have you got time? Because there's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, I think the number one thing I ever did, and this is a personal thing, I'm just proud of it, was hosting for 46,000 people on the beach at Beats in the Beach, Abu Dhabi. It was a Formula One weekend, and Sean Paul flew in.
Wow.
And he was there, and it was so insane to just get him on the stage and be like, Sean Paul, and everyone just go, ah.
Yeah.
That was a wicked personal moment. And also opening the Real Madrid cafe. You don't know JBR, right?
Yeah.
So there's the Real Madrid football cafe. When it first opened in Dubai, I was the girl standing at the door going, it's open. And Cristiano Ronaldo just walked right past me with the whole Real Madrid football team. I was like, oh. It was a moment I will never forget.
Yeah.
Trust me, that was beautiful. But like things that I'm proud of that I've done was there was a charity night for the X line with X Dubai. Mm-hmm. And during Ramadan, we got to like fly down the zip line at nighttime.
Wow.
It was insane. But we did it. Everything that was raised was for charity. So
yeah, is it scary to do it? I'm not a like adventure kind of guy, you know. Like I still get nervous during turbulence, you know. I'm like, hey,
come on, come on.
I travel all over the world, and I'm still like, you better straighten this thing out right now.
No, I'll put it this way: the very first moment that you're in the Superman position, and you're like this, and you're like, and then they let you go. That freaked me out. But the minute that you're just flying, it's just insane. And it's beautiful. You just get caught up in the moment. Like, okay, I screamed like a girl at the first few seconds. But then when you realize that you're floating over Dubai and you just see the marina all lit up, it is beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Seems so cool.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
So radio versus being in the public, do you get nervous speaking in public versus radio? Is there any difference for you?
I'm more nervous doing this. What are you talking about?
Really?
Like, I'm like, this is hard. You're asking me. I should be asking you.
Yeah.
This is not normal for me.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Okay, so what do you want to know?
For like when you're talking,
You
when you're talking in like public, like when you're presenting, like you did the 46,000 people, like do you get nervous like getting up there to talk, or you kind of just put it on and just go out there and do it?
I think it's more of like an adrenaline rush. Like you're there, they give you the microphone and you're like, okay. And then you don't realize until you're out there. And then when you're doing it, just something just goes through your body and you're just like, I got this.
Yeah.
I got this, and just have fun. And I think it's more of when you have fun and you're just like chatting to the crowds, and when they're there and you're playing games with them, it's like, hey, where my girls at? And the girls are like, woo! And then to the boys, where my boys at? And the boys are like, woo! That's when you just really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's when you connect. And I think the connection is the most important thing. And that's when it becomes fun.
And you were saying this earlier, like about the radio station, is you share a lot of your, like you even kind of interviewed me that you were coming on here because you're sharing kind of what you're doing and how you're doing it. Do you find that it's hard to be as open sometimes, or do you kind of keep it separate, or do you just really share everything?
Oh no, everything.
Yeah.
Radio, with radio, you have to just be you. Because if I can't share my experience with you, then how are you going to connect to me? Do you know what I mean? Like, radio is an intimate thing with the people that are listening. You become their life. If you're in the car every day with me at 10 o'clock and you're stuck on the Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed road going from Sharjah to Dubai, and you know that that's a nightmare. And then I'm always going to be with you, and I'm always sharing my story, and I'm like, I know you're sitting in that traffic, but we've got an old school anthem from like classic Justin Timberlake, and you're like, I know Eve's always going to bring me that tune that's going to get me through. Then you just connect. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's on that level, it's very, very cool.
Yeah. And it's funny that you're saying, like, you know, kind of sharing your authentic self, right? Like, I think it's the same that I tell people when I'm working on their social media brands, is to just be authentic, not create something fake, but we just find how to tell your true story. Yeah.
And it's like, even today, like being here with you, I was like, I had to share that. I was like, you know what it's like when you go to a job interview?
Yeah.
And you haven't prepared. Like, I have no idea what you're going to ask me. I'm just rolling with this. I'm like, okay. And I shared that moment. And what did you think? It was cool, right? Yeah,
it was awesome. I was cool. You interviewed me. It was cool. I liked it. You know? Someone wanted to ask me questions. I was like, hey.
Yeah, you see? So that's exactly what we did. So it was like a job interview. You're interviewing me. I'm interviewing you. And I shared that. And then people can connect with it and go, yes, now I know what that feels like. Now I know what she's going through. Even like being a little bit nervous just to be here. People get that. They sense it and they feel it. And that's what radio is about, that feeling.
Yeah. And do you think that's what makes a successful radio personality, is the story?
100%. Yeah. The radio presenters that are the most successful in here, in the UAE, who've been long-standing, been on the air for so long, are the ones that share their life. And I will talk about a friend like Chris Fade is the #1 radio. Like, he's amazing, and it's because he shares his whole life with you. You know about his daughters, you know about his world. That's why I talk to people about my cat, because I'll tell you about Buddy, my cat, and what he's doing, because I know that those who are animal friendly will get me, and they'll be like, I know what that feels like. Yeah. You know, like, that's the connection you need.
And do you kind of translate that into your social media? Because I feel like you do, from what I saw. So it's kind of like it just never ends.
Yeah. Like,
you're just kind of an open book.
On all the time. If I'm going to the beach and it's a secret beach, I will film the secret beach going, look, I'm here alone. This is me. You know, if I'm standing and I'm feeding my cat, you'll know what he's eating, because I will show it on Instagram. All of that, we share it all.
Instagram used to be about your food, now it's about your cat's food.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, for all the foodies out there, this is for you. You know, so yeah, we just share everything, and that's the best way to be. Not everything is a positive. So I know I'm going to bring it down a bit, but I'm just going to be real. Okay. So there are times in life where you think, yeah, I'm on a high, and I'm in Dubai, and I'm having the greatest life, but you forget to be humble, and you forget to realize how amazing life is. And sometimes life will just knock you down. Yeah. And it happened to me. I'm not afraid to admit it. I've slept in my car.
Yeah. I think, we had this conversation. Yeah.
You've slept in your car.
Yeah.
I've slept in my car. Like, there are times where you're out of work and you don't have your visa, and you're like, what am I going to do? But those are the moments that are the ones that will pick you up to the highest, because then you become a more heartfelt person, and then you realize, I have to work hard to get where I was before, to get back on it. You know, I lost my job, I got another radio job, but it just shows your point. You just got to keep going, and you'll fight harder and appreciate more when you get there, when you've gone through these struggles. So if you are going through a struggle, embrace it. Be like, this is not the end of my story. And I always, anytime I went through my personal journey where I was knocked down and had to start from scratch and build myself up again in the UAE, the moment that I always remember, the best advice I ever got, and I'll share it if you don't mind.
Please,
is winter and summer. Life is like winter and summer. After the rain will come the sunshine, and it's guaranteed. That's just the law of life, and this is how it is. You will have those rainy days, but then one day the sun will come out and those clouds will just go away. And you have to remember that when you're in the clouds and the rain, you're standing and getting poured on, you're like, why me? Don't worry, your sunshine is coming, and it has to. That's life, and that's the law.
I think we should end it with that, because you did a great job. That was like a great way to end the show. Awesome. So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I appreciate you coming on. Thank you. All right.